How about some this old Doom action here? Happy July. It's hot as hell out. Maybe not really as hot as hell, because hell is where a lot of the video game series Doom takes place. And today we're in a familiar yet unfamiliar level, and that is central processing. I kind of posit that statement out there because we've already had a map called Central Processing way back in Knee Deep in the Dead, but this is a completely different one. And an official one at that. It's MAP20 off of TNT Evilution from Final Doom, which we've been going through. Now, again, our goal today, let's figure out what the market value of this place is. But I'm going to be honest with you. We got a lot of stuff going on. I'm past the point in this series where I feel like I need to strategize to maintain my health. We're just going to turn on degreelessness, aka God mode on. And if that upsets you, I'm sorry. But that's not the point of this series. The point of this series is to find out how much we can sell these levels for. And this one has some great features. We're in this part of TNT Evilution now where we're starting to get these maps that feel very based in reality. This one, very much an office vibe. You're going to see what I mean here. Desks, cube farms, maybe even control panels. Like, look, computers. I mean, it's cool stuff, right? The realism for some of these TNT Evilution levels is really kicked up to 11. Of course, so is the enemy and item count that you can see on the lower left-hand side of my screen, which is, we got 274 enemies here and like a crap ton of items. But yeah, as also some new artwork, which hopefully everyone's enjoying that here on the channel. So a little bit of refresh on some of the styling, and hopefully it's not too visually distracting. But one of the things I thought about when doing this series and continuing it was, hey, you know, I'm not trying to do a walkthrough here. I am certainly trying to kill everything, get every item and every secret, but the constant deaths are making these difficult to record, and they're making them unenjoyable in some cases for me to actually play. So I figured, let's just turn on God mode. We've already nerfed the game enough anyway. If we can't beat it with our nerfs, we might as well just turn it on, because I don't know what else we would be able to do to make it any easier. And that's fine. So coming out of the pretty cool office type area, we have a little area here, another storage area, which the developers love to have things that mimic warehouses and giving off warehouse vibes. This is certainly one of those, although with a little bit of hellishness to it. And you see, I just got the map, and that's incredibly useful for us because we want to be able to get everything in this level without exception, and hopefully very easily now that we don't have to worry about dying. I mean, we could still die, I guess. I'm gonna make sure that that's not something that opens up. I could have just looked at the map and it would have told me that. Anyway, sacrificial body in there. You're probably wondering, how do we get this rocket? I think that comes up later, so I'm not going to worry about it now. We can always come back. Let's go back here into our office space style area. And something new has opened up. Kind of a factory type area. We have some items here perched on this ledge that I'm going to grab. Some pain elementals. And we will eventually get in there, of course. And then we have an automatic staircase, which that's a pretty cool feature of any building. Already up to 634,000 in projected market value. Yeah, and I'm still gonna like try to not get hit by stuff. Like, I'm not making it easy where I don't have to try. I mean, I do take great pride in being able to dodge enemies and stuff, but like the constant barrage of especially revenants, and even more so these chain gun sergeants, was really starting to get to me. And I've tried to record some of these episodes many times. Let's save the difficulty for the Balatro series is kind of how I feel. Here we have a nice little like almost like an R&D area, I call it, and maybe like a presentation. This is where you kind of rally the troops. You give your keynote presentations in here for the staff. Maybe you bring in guest speakers. But I do like the R&D vibe of having these helmets like on these things. I don't know exactly what they're going for in this map particularly, but I think that that's a very cool vibe. We have a yellow door down here. We only have the red key, if you remember. That was back in the first section of the game. We just got to make sure... I don't want to take any liberties with grabbing items. I want to make sure that we use the fact that we're going to turn cheat codes on to our advantage and make sure we're grabbing literally everything, ideally the first time, so that we don't have to go back. And this room will be no exception. There is a teleporter. We'll go to it. I'm going to grab this Berserk pack. Always worth a little bit there. I think we've got everything that we can get here currently. Let's go back to the super shotgun before we step onto this teleporter. And now we are back in the original part of the map. Some places have opened up. You probably saw these before. They were kind of walled off, but we couldn't necessarily open them manually. Now they've opened. So ideally, I think we want to head here to the red door, since that is our next unlock point. And there's going to be a lot of stuff that happens here. We run towards that door, opening up this and leading to kind of a rather dark hallway. And one of these interesting designed switches. We actually have to shoot that one. Kind of forgot about that. But yeah, very much giving office vibes here. The high ceilings are nice. The lighting is a little dated. Perhaps they could transition to electrical there instead of a torch. And then we have kind of a weird back roomsy basement slash dungeon area. Complete with radioactive waste, which is something we also don't have to worry about. I want to go back here into this... I don't know, it kind of looks like a tomb. Kill these monsters. I apologize, it is very hard to see in this part of the map. I don't even know... I'm not quite sure what you'd even call this. Perhaps this is just the water or waste management portion of this building complex down here. But we do have a blue key. And really the only way we can go is here. And a lot of these sections are reminiscent of other Doom levels. Like, this very much reminds me of the chasm in Doom 2. Or the pit, I'm sorry. I get the pit and the chasm confused sometimes. But yeah, this is definitely a much more relaxing vibe. Again, we have lava here, and I don't know necessarily how this is considered a secret, because I feel like this part is kind of required to get to. At least in my understanding of this map. Another radioactive area. Perhaps you clean this out somehow. As we have enemies teleporting in from all sides. You clean this out. You have a nice, maybe common area for your employees where they can sit, you know, pond side. Maybe you have a little koi pond here. And just a nice little reading area or a rec area. You could do all kinds of stuff with this, but the radiation is a concern, as it always is. Number one concern usually in these maps is probably the monsters. Number two tends to be things like radiation, lava, blood. And then number three is usually just the overall hostile architecture and demonic aesthetic are the things that I think most potential buyers are going to address and prioritize, likely in that order. I just want to make sure we got everything here. We do have the blue key, so we can advance down this way. This is where we came from. Couple more revenants, some more bullets, a mancubus, and a very nice piece of blue armor. Let's see what opens up this way. This will take us back into this section of the high ceiling areas where we get a rocket launcher. I'm kind of I will say the oh, he teleported just completely out of there. We have a secret here. I'm looking at this map that we got and seeing a couple very easy to find secrets. We don't want to pass those up. And then we'll head in here. You can see now I've teleported on top of some type of pedestal this way. Back into this R&D area, I call it. And we now do have a yellow key. I should probably save. Just give it a garbage name. See, we're doing really good right now. And we have a whole vast area here yet to explore. And we hear a spider mastermind. So aren't we glad that we're invincible? But yeah, if you want a scenic office building, this seems to fit the bill. This almost looks like it could be the entrance. We're going out through the indoor. A grand staircase, a nice little river or moat, which we'll have to contend with here. I want to make sure that we check out everything that's available in these sections. A fountain, incredible, well worth the price in my estimation. We're already at 2.6 million, so this is one of our more expensive properties already. And still plenty to look at. Let's go check out the river down here because I think we can, yes, we can teleport. Not quite a secret, but also not quite not one. We do have enemies teleporting in, including an archvile. Let's take care of him. Always exciting to see a couple of those, am I right? And more things teleporting behind us. I'm going to go ahead and try to go down this way. I think this will also lead us up to, yeah, one of these locations. There's another water area back here, which we can go. That will teleport us to the top of the fountain. So we found the item on top of there. And let's head back one more time to that section. I'll just jump it to save a little bit of time. There was an imp on that side of it. And okay, so we can't go that way yet. I'm sure we'll get there at some point because there is an item down there that I see. This is a very disorienting area that makes you kind of forget that it's wide open. We'll jump back over here just to save a little bit of time, and then we'll head into this door. And this is the main outdoor area. We're going to be spending a lot of time here. This place is rather confusing. So hopefully we didn't miss anything on the way out here. Or at least not very many things, because we'll probably have to go back in like a no-clipping situation to get a lot of it. First things first, I will go down here and grab this. Or try to, anyway. It did teleport me back up. Keep a note of that teleporter. Okay, yeah, we did get that item. Fantastic. A lot of high-walled areas here. We'll check this teleporter first. This is going to take us up to the top of this kind of central structure that has a barbed wire fence around it. I'm not sure what you would really call this or what it's supposed to do, but it's pretty neat. And from here we can go down and check out this area as well. Grabbing every item that we can while we're over here to try and minimize how many stops. I guess if you imagine that this is kind of like a hill or a mountaintop, granted in Doom they don't have slopes, at least vertical slopes, so they can't really mimic that too much. Man, there's a lot of company out here. And there's our spider mastermind. Destroying him is going to get us a lot of market value just alone. And look, we ran out of shotgun shells, and that's okay. Let's check out down here. We've got still plenty of enemies on this very, very large river area. This is kind of back where we started. So I don't think we necessarily missed anything, yeah, on that section. 21 enemies left. Still 2 secrets, which I think we will get to from here. We still have time. I like to keep these episodes under a half hour. Let's begin the climb. And I think the exit is at the very, very top of all this craziness, so... Here's one of our secrets. Which leads us... over to this section. We have another one of you guys. Alright. Where's this teleporter take us? Back up here to this section that we were not yet in. And then here, jumping off of here, this is what I was talking about. Teleports us to all these other areas that were out of reach earlier. And then right back where we were. Okay. Question then becomes, oh, that's just probably a teleporter room. I do get a little bit lost, like, which way are we supposed to go? Do we go back this way or the other way? With one secret left to find. This is just a huge sprawling area, which can be very frustrating, but is very cool to look at. I mean, from a design standpoint, I think it's a neat idea. Okay, this is where we were before, so we are going back this way. We had to collect those couple of items. Just trying to get as many as we can. We will almost certainly have to backtrack to get something. There's definitely another secret that we have not gotten yet, and I think we're going to need to go probably down there where that arachnotron is at some point as well. So we'll come around this way. Thought maybe this lowered, but I guess not. This is like, you know what this might be? This could be like an exercise area. I mean, there's generally not a whole lot of stuff here. So that would make sense. Like to have an area for your employees to keep in shape so they don't, you know, they can just do that stuff while they're at work. Pretty cool concept, actually. All right, and then we'll make a jump out of here. A save. I don't know how, if we're supposed to go all the way down or what we're supposed to do. I think this is the section that will then lead us to the end of the map and that teleporter that we saw earlier. You can see there's still items here. So yeah, we haven't been on here. These are kind of good little benchmarks for us to know, breadcrumbs rather, that we're in the right area because we have not grabbed these yet. And we'll come around. And there should be a teleporter back here. Very cool. That leads us up here. And I think that hitting this will just exit us out of the level. So we need to actually go on an item hunt. So we're going to go ahead and just pop this open. And we're going to take a trip through the property one more time, but this time with no clipping on. We see a lot of dead bodies over here. We're going to focus our efforts maybe outside of this main outdoor area and go back into the main complex. And we'll see probably a couple places that we missed. So let's head this way first. There is no way to get in there that I am aware of. It looks like it's just a hanging torso, a hanging Chad, if you will. We'll go back through here just to make sure this is all well covered. This is an absolutely gigantic map. I do see one of our enemies around the corner here. So you came from somewhere. And I think where we need to go next is back down into this area. And somewhere there is a way into like a room. If we zoom in, you can kind of see what I'm talking about. There's definitely a lot of stuff in there. I'm not quite sure how to get to it. It looks like there is some type of there's some type of door here that would take us into it. So, oh no, wait, this is the place we were. This is not what I'm thinking of. Let's go back here. This thing is what I mean. Yeah, baby. Now we're talking. I think we're going to find pretty much almost everything that we need in here, including there's our last secret. And then we have this kind of weird area with a blood pool / moat, a BFG 9000, a revenant. How we get in here, this is probably not the way we're normally supposed to do it, but it's the way we're taking. And then we can just X out of there. So we have 12 items left, no secrets. So we missed something glaringly obvious. Let's zoom out and see if we can find out where that would be. Oh, I know where it is. We never came back here. This stuff all lowers. This was that kind of factory looking place I spoke of. This does lower. Something triggers this to lower. I don't remember quite what, but I think we can actually, we'll grab these items and oh, we left one there. And then I think we can actually go up. And there's probably going to be a couple more enemies up here. At least there should be. Yes. Yeah, they're teleporting in right now. A couple of them are anyway. I hear one more. He'll be our last enemy of the map. And now we just have to find 2 items. Guess those could be literally anywhere. We'll take a trip looking for them real quick. I'm not going to spend too much time on them. I have a couple ideas on where they might be. One would be in that office type area. I do want to make sure, did we leave anything on the steps? No. Did we leave anything back here? These are just going to be bodies at this point. Did we leave an item up here? That's just a torch. Okay. Did we leave anything along these lines? It does not appear to be the case. Let's check this office area one more time. This is most likely where they're going to be. Because I don't know if we did our due diligence. There's a business term for you. In going through all of these individual little cubby holes and I don't know. It's looking pretty good, actually. It's looking like pretty well cleaned out. So, did we forget something in here, perhaps? Or in this section? So many different places that could have stuff. The problem is everything is so compacted in this map. It's going to be very hard for us to pin them down from an overhead view like this. So I'm not going to worry too much about it. At this point, the amount that it would affect our bottom line for being able to sell this property is going to be minimal. 2 items, I'm not, you know, unless they're really, really good items. And even then I would kind of think that they would not make that big of a difference. There's one of them right there. Actually, it's the box of shells. Okay, so maybe we'll take one more look. We're heading towards the exit anyway, so we'll head to the outside area because that is a place where I feel like we could see it. Hold on, there's some type of there's an item out here. This is interesting. There's an item that is clipped out of the map. So we would never have been able to find that normally. Incredible. Okay. Let's go ahead and get the hell out of here. This has been Central Processing. I thought really cool map. 4.235 million. Drake O'Brien, thank you for your service in making this map incredible. Wow. Okay. TNT Evilution continues to deliver. We have a handful of levels left in this WAD, and then of course we will go on to the Plutonia experiment as we continue through Final Doom. But hopefully you're enjoying the series. Please subscribe and tell everyone that you know and love about this channel. And we'll see you next time on This Old Doom. Stay safe out there and stay cool out there.